So for the idea of today is I can solve linear equations with multiple steps using the distributive property and combining like terms before I solve. So basically the idea is simplifying your expressions on both sides and then solving. Okay, you're trying to get this long written equation written down to a two-step equation. So you're just doing what you can before you start doing those inverse operations. Simplify what you can, and then you start doing the opposites. So the first thing that we always do, or always look for before we start solving anything when we're trying to simplify, our first step is always going to be that distributive property. We want to make sure that we are distributing before we are solving. So in this situation, you know, we've started off with that whole 9x minus 4, and then parentheses we have 3x minus 6. And then of course we still have that equals negative 3 plus the 18. I have distributive property because I see those parentheses. I need to distribute that negative 4 to the terms that are inside of the parentheses. So I'm going to do negative 4 times 3x, and I'm going to do negative 4 times that negative 6. So negative 4 times 3x is going to come out to negative 12x. And then negative 4 times negative 6, that's going to come out to a positive 24. Nothing else has changed. This 9x is still going to come straight down, completely unchanged. We're going to bring down that equal sign, and we're going to bring down the rest of this problem, this negative 3 plus 18. So nothing else has changed so far. The next step, or step 2, once we have distributed, if there is distributive property involved, our next step is to go ahead and combine like terms on the left side of the equation, if it's possible. Okay, what that means is sometimes you won't be able to combine any like terms. So if possible means only if you can. But like always, we distribute, then we can combine. We distribute first, and then we can combine. So we're focusing first only on the left side of the equal sign. So I'm just going to focus on this whole 9x minus 12x plus 24. I'm just looking at the left side of my equal sign. So I'm only focusing on what I can combine together here. What can I combine together in this expression? EJ?
9x and negative 12.
Good. We can combine that 9x and that negative 12x. If we do 9x minus the 12x, that's going to come out to what? Negative 3x. So we have negative 3x. That plus 24 has nothing that we can combine with it, so it stays plus 24. Okay, then we can focus on combining like terms on the right side, if at all possible. Combining like terms on the right side, if it's possible. So on the right side of my equation, I've got negative 3 plus 18. Can I combine that? Yeah. I can combine this. What is this going to equal? What is it? 15. Positive or negative? Positive. I want to make sure that I understand it is a positive 15. I don't have to write the plus sign because there was nothing else with it, but I am wanting to indicate to you it is a positive. Make sure you understand that. Okay, once we have simplified both sides, I can rewrite it. Negative 3x plus 24 was on the left side. A positive 15 was on the right side. Is this a two-step equation now? Yeah. Do we know how to solve two-step equations? Yes. Our first step is to always add or subtract to both sides. Add or subtract your constant on both sides. So you have to identify whether it's an addition or subtraction problem. So are we going to add or subtract? Subtract. And we're going to subtract 24 on both sides of that equal sign. So remember, our goal was to create this into a zero pair. Zero's out. And we're now left with negative 3x is equal to a negative 9. Okay, from there, negative 3x is equal to negative 9. It's now a one-step equation. We can go ahead and multiply or divide by the coefficient or the divisor on both sides. We're going to divide, and what are we going to divide both sides by? Negative 3. Because we want to create a positive 1 for my coefficient. So that means I have to get rid of that negative, and I have to get rid of the 3. And what will x equal? What's negative 9 divided by negative 3? Positive 3. Okay? So that's what creates that multi-step problem. You have to simplify your expressions on both sides first before you can start solving it from two-step form. Okay, with that in mind, we're going to go through a couple of problems together before I let you do a couple on your own. So for problem number 1, again, the first thing I always want to ask myself, is there any distributive property here? No. We have no distributive property because we have no parentheses. So step 1 is done. Step 2 and step 3 are to simplify left and right sides. So let's focus on the left side. Can I simplify 4n minus 2n? Yes, I can simplify 4n minus 2n. What is 4n minus 2n going to give me? 2n. Can I simplify anything on the right side? No. So it's just going to come straight down, isn't it? So we now have 2n is equal to 4. Do I have a constant here? On the same side as the variable. Do I have a constant with the variable? No. Do I have a coefficient with the variable? Yes. So what am I going to do to solve it? Divide by 2. So we'll get n is equal to 2. That was an easy one. Okay, problem number 2. First thing that I actually am going to do, I don't have distributive property, but there's something I don't like about this problem. Why do you think I don't like it, Jackson? Yeah, I don't like having that negative 12 on the left side. I don't like having my variables on the right side. So before I even start, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick rewrite. I'm going to take this 2 plus 5v plus 2v. I'm going to put it on the left side instead. And I'm going to put equals negative 12 on the right. Just a quick rewrite. Makes it easier, especially when we get into our inequalities. Do I have any distributive property here? Nope. Can I combine any like terms on this left side? What can I combine? 5v plus the 2v, right? I can combine those together. What is 5v plus 2v? 7v. Positive 7v. Don't forget to put this positive, because that 2 that was in the very front, that needs to come straight down. What about on the right side? Can I simplify anything on the right? No. So it's just going to stay equals negative 12. It's now a two-step equation. What's the first thing that I'm going to do? Jay, what do I need to do first? And what is that? The 2. I'm going to subtract by the 2 on both sides. Okay, so I'm zeroing out these constants. I'm left with a positive 7v is now equal to a negative 14. What's my last step? Ariana? Divide by 7. We're going to divide both sides by the 7. We're going to get v is equal to negative 2. Okay, so you always check, can I distribute? Can I simplify the left? Can I simplify the right? Then you start solving. Inverse of the constant, inverse of the coefficient or the divisor. Okay, it's the same process each time. Go ahead and flip it on over to the back. We'll do 2 more examples together, and then I'm going to let you do the rest of them on your own. Somebody wake up, AJ. There you go. All right, let's take a look here. Number 3, what should I do? Who said rewrite? J. Rewrite. Let's rewrite. We don't like having those variables on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. I've got x plus 3 minus 5x is equal to 3. Now I can go ahead and check. Do I have distributive property? Yes or no?
No.
No. Do I have any like terms on the left side? Yes or no? What are they? X and negative 5x. So if we do x minus 5x, what is that going to give us? Negative 4x. Negative 4x. We still have that plus 3 that's going to come straight down, and it's equal to 3. We didn't have anything to simplify on the right side, so now it's a two-step equation. What can I do first? What's the inverse? Minus 3. Subtract the 3. Julian, wake up. We're going to subtract the 3 from both sides. So when I subtract 3 on this side, it gets a 0. When I subtract 3 on the other side, I'm also going to get 0. 0 is a number, though. I don't want you guys thinking that you did something wrong just because you got a 0. 0 is a value. It's perfectly fine. What's the next step? Divide by negative 4. And what's 0 divided by negative 4? 0. So that's our solution. X is equal to 0. It's still considered to be a solution. Okay, let's take a look at problem number 4. Do I need to distribute? No. Like terms?
Yes.
What? The 3 and the negative 3. This 3 and the negative 3 can be combined together to give me what? 0. So I can say plus 0. So I've got x plus 0 is equal to negative 6. Well, if I do any number plus 0, what does that give me? No. It gives you the number. So if I do x plus 0, it's going to give me x. So I already have it down. It's x is equal to negative 6. Some of these are really simple and easy. Okay? Go ahead and do 5 through 8 on your own, please. 5 through 8 on your own. Rewrite if necessary. Distribute. Combine like terms. Solve. Okay, let's go ahead and go over these. That way you guys have time to be able to get onto your activity for today. So for here, problem number 5, first thing I'm going to go ahead and do, just for my benefit, I'm going to rewrite it so that way I know that the variable needs to be on the other side. Negative 3 times the quantity of x plus 2 is equal to 6. I have distributive property. So I need to do negative 3 times x and times 2. So negative 3 times x is going to give me negative 3x. Negative 3 times 2 is going to give me negative 6. And then this whole thing is still set equal to 6. I do not have any like terms to combine together, so I can just start solving. I'm going to add 6 to both sides in order to get rid of this constant and create a 0 pair. That leaves me with negative 3x is now equal to 12. My last step is to divide both sides by negative 3, and I'll get that x is equal to negative 4 as my final answer. For problem number 6, I'm going to distribute. I'm going to do negative 3 times 4x and negative 3 times negative 8. So negative 3 times 4x is going to give me negative 12x. Negative 3 times negative 8 is going to give me positive 24. And that's set equal to negative 36. I do not have any like terms to combine, so I'm just going to start solving. I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides first to create that 0 pair. That leaves me with negative 12x is now equal to a negative 60. And then I'm going to divide both sides by the negative 12 so I can create a positive coefficient. And that will be x is equal to 5. Okay, for problem number 7, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick rewrite first. I'm going to have 1/4 times the quantity of 5x minus 8, and that's equal to 8. I then go ahead and distribute 1/4 times 5x and 1/4 times negative 8. When I would do 1/4 times 5x that's going to give me 5 over 4x. When I do 1/4 times negative 8, that's going to come out to a negative 2, and the whole thing is set equal to 8. I then add 2 to both sides to create that 0 pair. That leaves me with 5/4 x is now equal to 10. My last step here, this is one of the ones that you guys messed up on with the quiz. You are going to divide by 5 over 4 on both sides. You are dividing by 5 over 4. That's going to give you x is equal to 8. You get x is equal to 8. Okay, with the last problem, this is the one that was the big doozy. Okay, it's going to be distributive property first. You're going to do 3 times 4x. That's going to come out to 12x. 3 times negative 5. That comes out to a negative 15. And then you still have this minus 4x and this plus 1. And it's all equal to negative 6. I do have like terms that can be combined together. I have a 12x and a negative 4x that can get combined together. I also happen to have a negative 15 and a positive 1 that I can combine together. So I'm going to do 12x minus 4x. That's going to come out to 8x. And then I'm going to do negative 15 plus 1. That's going to come out to negative 14. And the whole thing is set equal to negative 6. Now I can start solving. If I add 14, positive 14 to both sides, that creates the 0 pair. I'm left with 8x is now equal to a positive 8. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 8 and get x is equal to 1. Okay, on Google Classroom, you have a mystery picture that you need to complete. You will be working out your equations, solving, and getting your answer. When you finish, you need to make sure that you are turning it in.